Wow, that's it, me, the first 10,000 subscribers. Woohoo! Right, here we go. I'm going to do some videos now on just how I got there. So I'm going to show you my tripod, my camera, and other bits and bobs of exactly how I got to 10,000 subscribers. Right, here she blows, is my camera. Oh, it's got a bit of mud on it. Well, got a lot of mud on it. Now you see this thing here, that is a dead cat, or a bit of a dead cat. No, it's not a dead cat. I will show you what that is in a minute. But the camera itself is a Canon SX730 with a 40x zoom for zooming in on birds and all sorts of bits and bobs. It's also got a lovely flip up screen. Ooh! To so that you can see what's going on. It's dead handy for sort of selfie type images. What I tend to do is when I do the selfies, I'll do this. So I'll hold the camera stand like that, and probably retract the other things, and then look, I can see myself up there in the window. So that's why I do these sort of selfies at a distance. Looks quite good. Now the reason I use one of these cameras and not an iPhone is because I ain't got one. But more importantly, this thing's got lots of settings. It's got lots of settings, like. So you've got all sorts of modes. Like there's mode for when it's a bit cloudy. There's all sorts of, it's on 60 frames per second at the moment. So you got 60 frames per second. You know, it's got all sorts of interesting modes and lights and that sort of thing. So, you know, it's a general all-round camera. It's also got stabilization settings, so you can stabilize the image. And with an iPhone, you can't really put on the dead cat. You can't stick the dead cat to an iPhone. The reason it needs redoing. I'll show you where you can get the dead cat fluff from. See, there's what it is. There's the fluff look on the edge of that camera. Now you can't really do that with an iPhone. So you can't sort of, this packet contains bits. What you get in there is these double-sided sticky things. Now the microphone on the top of my camera is not like a 3 little dots. It's a sort of a long microphone slot. So you've got to cut these little double-sided sticky tape things so that it sort of fits over the hole. So I use 2 of them normally, and then I got these little fluffy things that you put over the holes, and that cuts down the wind noise, because there's nothing worse than going and looking at a newbie metal detecting YouTuber, and all you can hear is this wind noise, and that's why you should do that. That's a major benefit to for your YouTube channel to succeed. See, another thing what I would do is always buy the best equipment. Always try and get the best equipment you can buy. The camera, this camera I got here was quite expensive, but you can buy second-hand cameras. And in some ways, I bought this camera new, but afterwards I wished I'd bought it second-hand, because this camera's, in about a year from now, the mud's going to get in there, because this is metal detecting videos. The mud's going to get into it and it will break. It will start to sort of go wrong after about a year. So you're probably better off buying second-hand cameras on one of the auction sites than buying new, because it's obviously going to cost you more money. But you know, if it was to go wrong initially, then you could get it fixed. But do you ever bother? This one started to have a bit of a worry noise, but it seems to have gone away now. So I don't know. It seems to come and go. I think whether it's weather conditions or what it's doing it, I don't know. But anyway, always try and get the best equipment you can. For me, metal detectors always the best, because people will respond to you having the best equipment that you can get to make your videos. You should also try and be bubbly and try and be sort of talk loudly, so that the camera will pick you up in windy conditions, if there are any windy conditions, project one's voice. I use a free software editor called Caden Live. I think you can get a Windows version for it because my operating systems are done in Linux. So yeah, it's a Linux operating system. It's free, don't cost anything. You can get Windows versions. They are a bit tricky to use, but you know, I got a Linux machine, I haven't got Windows, so yeah, the other ones are called Fremora 9. So you can basically, you don't need to go too overboard with graphics either. Try and keep things simple. Don't go overboard with like doing like weird graphics and things. You know, people say less is more. Less is more. Yeah, they say that. I'm pretty sure they do say that. So less is more. So try and keep things simple. Get a good camera stand. This tripod collapses into a height of just over 1 foot tall, and it can go up to about 5 foot tall. So you just want to keep everything reasonably simple. And in 2.5 years, in about 1.5 years time, you might be as popular as me. Now, regards to getting metal detecting permissions, people say, oh, I can't get permissions. The reason they always say they can't get permissions is because what you need to do is you need to walk up to the house and you need to knock on the door and say, can I metal detect your fields, please? You know, that's what you got to do. You can't write letters. You can't hope that somebody else is going to do it for you. You've got to do it yourself. You've got to walk up to the door and you've got to knock on it. It's as simple as that. Now, I'm okay because I've got a gardening company, more of a sole trader. And what I tend to do is knock on people's doors anyway. So it's, you know, once you've knocked, and the thing is, once you've knocked on 2 or 3 doors, it's easy. It's not difficult. So just go up to the door and knock on it and say hello. You know, that's you've got to do it. That's it. From a metal detecting point of view, you've got to be able to get new permissions all the time. You've got to find new land, constantly be thinking about how you're going to improve your channel. I would encourage everyone when they start to draw up a business plan. Have a business plan, set your goals of what you're going to do, like say in 6 months time or a year's time. Have the goals that you want to get to in each month. So you want to do something by that month, and then the next month you want to do something by that month, and the next month, and the next month, and the month. You've got to have goals, ambitions. You've got to, you know, take a part-time job. If you've got a job, go part-time. If that doesn't suit you, then leave that job and get a part-time job, because this is a business. You've got to think of it as a business, not as something you're going to do on a weekend. If you think you're going to do it on a weekend, forget it, because you've got to be out there 24/7 getting the video together to make your videos. You can't just do it on weekends. And if you've got kids, if you're married with kids, forget it. You're just not going to do it. You've got to be single. You've got to be single, unmarried, no partner. You know, you've got to be able to put your emphasis on to what you're doing fully into it, like running a business. You've got to have goals, a business plan. You've got to take a reduction in pay, like I said, go part-time. You've got to go for it, basically. You can't, you know, so I've met so many people that think, oh, I'm going to be a successful YouTuber, and they're married, they got kids, they got a full-time job, they can only do it on weekends. Forget it. You're never going to get there. No, this is something you're going to have to do when you're probably retired. Like, look at Aquachigger, he's retired from work, he can put everything into his metal detecting videos. Look at all the rest of them. Digger Dawn, I'm not entirely sure of her situation, but she's often said that she goes out quite often just to get the film together for the one video per week. Now with me, you're going to go further if you can provide a video once every couple of days. So you got the day the video goes up and the day the video is fallow. For some reason you tend to get more subscribers on the fallow days than you do on the days that when you put the video up. But if you were to put up a video every day, which I have done, you'll get more views. But oh boy, it's seriously exhausting, because you have to come out to the fields, you have to hope that you're going to find something, and then you've got to rush home and put the video together, and then you've got to do the same the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day. So it's now doing this kind. Now if you were a YouTuber where you were at home and you could do that, you know, just do a bit of research and put stuff up, fine. But this is metal detecting videos, and you're not going to be able to do a metal detecting video unless you're out there. I've got maybe 100 fields at the moment. I've got I'm a little bit limited because of the situation that we currently find ourselves in, but I won't be seeing Matt and all the rest of my newbies for the next 6 weeks because of the situation, unfortunately. But I've got to 10,000 subscribers, and I'm hoping that in another year from now it'll be 20,000. So you've just got to constantly think of how you can strive forward, how you've got to think about your goals, where you're going to get to. You've got to have, you know, in my command center, let's say, I've got my computer, I've got another computer for my graphics, I've got a wall that I've got covered in A4 sheets of paper with all of my goals set out that I want to get to within the next 12 months. So you don't, if you know, so I think I've said enough that it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And well, it's not even a marathon, it's a 7 peaks marathon. So it's to think that you're going to become a successful YouTuber by just putting up a video once a week. Nah. You've got to go for it. You've got to really go for it. Right, I think that's enough for the first video on how to get there. And I'll have to have a think about the next video of how you can accomplish becoming a successful YouTuber. Cheers!